Frequently asked questions, FAQs, or as I like to call it, FACKS. So I'm not an overtly social blogger, as many of you know. I don't really communicate with as many of my mutuals as I would like to, but I do actually have the odd question here and there that you guys obviously don't see because I don't publish them. And a lot of the time they are the same. They revolve around what's going on in my life, what I've talked about on my blog. So I thought I would just cover all of them and then you don't have to keep asking. I also did a full face of makeup and did my hair for like the first time in maybe like a month, so I'm taking advantage of that. Okay, so the first question is kind of loaded, so I'm actually going to leave it to the end. Second question, coffee. What is my go-to coffee? As you can see, my go-to drink out coffee is Cafe Nero. I actually used to be a very loyal Costa coffee drinker, but I don't find their coffee as smooth as I find Nero's, so complete product placement. I'm not being paid for this. Cafe Nero is my go-to for that. My go-to for instant coffee that I drink here is Kenko's Millicano. It's insane, guys. It's freaking insane. As some of you will know, as I've talked about before, I am an avid Nestle avoider because I think Nestle as a corporation are just D-I-C-K-S. And as much as I can, I like avoiding their products. So even though their coffee looks insane, I'd stick with the Millicano, which is actually the first like instant coffee I've ever found that I really like. So, you know, hats off to Kenko. Third question, covers. I haven't recorded a cover in a while. I know it's mainly because even though I've lived here for a year, I have absolutely no idea what the soundproofing of this flat is like. My guitar is here. I have no idea if you can see it over there. Anderson has returned. That's the first time I've had him here. I got him here like just before Easter, and that's the first time I've actually had his beautiful body in this flat since I moved in last September. But I do have a few ideas for covers and they will probably be done in the summer when I'm back in the house and I know I'm not disturbing anyone. Also, as you can probably hear, the traffic behind you guys right now is very loud and it makes it very awkward for recording covers. And I have a flatmate who I don't like disturbing, so that's another thing. Question that I've not been getting often, but one I've gotten lots in the last few days, and that is, you're writing a novel? Yes, I'm writing a novel. That's the thing, never thought I had a novel in me, but there you go. People keep asking like, how's the planning going? Have you started writing yet? No, I have not. However, I did buy myself this £12 notebook because I could really... I also have this thing, does anyone else have this thing? When you're planning longer stories, you want A4 pages. I mean, I have a lot of notebooks this size, but having the bigger one, I've got a very supportive writer at my back who I've explained the whole kind of concept to, who is behind me 100%, my little straub. So that's exciting, but that's not happening until the summer, I don't think. And do not expect this to be like a big thing that I'm going to be like talking about constantly, or like it's going to be like finished in like a year. No chance. I am still not sure I'm built for this, so you're gonna have to be patient. Another question I seem to get quite a lot, which honestly baffles me, I don't understand it, is are you still as obsessed with BTS as you used to be? Yes, I am. Very much so. I recently passed the 1,000 follower mark, which I have been trying to do for like the last 3 years. And it's been torture. I've been around on Tumblr for like 5.5 years and I've only just managed to jump over that 1,000 mark, mostly because my interests and my fandoms have switched and jumped around so much over the last 5 years that it's just, I'm sorry. I do have a side blog, Galsake Piano. I will leave the link below. You can go follow that. There'll be much more K-pop and anime there than there will be here, so okay, so the last two questions are kind of joint questions, and the first one is the question that was the big one that I didn't really want to talk to right at the beginning of the video because it's kind of heavy, and that is, how are you doing, Hannah? How are you doing? I'm doing better. As some of you may or may not know, I was pretty depressed for quite an extension of time. Between about a week into January up to about maybe the end of February, I was like horrifically depressed. Horrifically, like can't get out of bed, sleeping in the lounge, physically can't take care of myself, depressed. It did get a bit better at the end of February, but because it was so heavy at the beginning of the year, every time I did stumble, I found it quite hard to pick myself back up again. So it's been a struggle, a very hard struggle, but what are we on now? Oh no, it's almost May, isn't it? Because all the Justin Timberlake memes have come out. But I'm getting there. A big thing sort of happened a couple of weeks ago. I went home for the Easter holidays, and after reaching out subtly to my mum, she suggested we actually go and see a doctor about it, which I've seen about my anxiety before, but never about the depression. I'm a bit of a skeptic when it comes to GPs because I've never had a great experience with them. They've always sort of talked to me in a very condescending way, and they've minimised my struggles to certain events going on in my life, and where I know that certain events in my life have affected me badly. I personally feel like it's more than that, and I don't like the way they minimise things. The appointment went as well as it could do. Obviously I'm still very young, they don't want to put me on anything or prescribe me anything, which I completely understand. But it did give me a bit of a knock, because at the moment I'm not really in the place where I can access counselling or therapy, because I'm moving around a lot. I mean, I'm moving out of this place again in two-ish weeks, and then I'm back for one night in the summer, and then I'm back for another night a bit later in the summer, and then that's it, I'm back in North Wales. So I can't really settle down to any kind of therapy or counselling until September. So that just worried me a bit, because that's a long stretch of time to be living in a place that is vaguely toxic for me, while being more alone than I'm used to and away from the people that really keep me up and keep me happy. Which actually leads quite well on to the next question, which is, how the fuck do you cope with all of this? Firstly, this is a very simple thing. I get out. That was a lot harder for me a couple of months ago. I couldn't really get out, I couldn't go out, I couldn't bring myself to just go out on my own. But that has become increasingly important. I go out, today I went out, I did need to do some shopping, but I went out, did my shopping, grabbed a takeout coffee and came home. I wasn't really up for being around a lot of people for a long period of time, but just getting out in that fresh air helps so much, and it breaks up the day. I mean, I'm here on my own all day. This flat is very small. It's very claustrophobic when there's nobody else here with you, so having that contact is really, really important. Second, didn't mention this as much when I was just talking about it then, but I have quite bad anxiety, and that has come up quite a lot recently. This was something I tried when I was younger, and it didn't work for me. It wasn't a thing for me, but it's FACKS rescue remedy. I did used to use it as when I was about 16, 17, when I was very anxious in school. And it's completely natural. It comes in like it comes like this, a little dipper. My hand's are really shaky, I'm sorry. And you just put 4 drops of it on your tongue every day, or just when you're feeling anxious, and you can give yourself like a top up when you're feeling anxious, but it's not a complete concrete remedy, I would say. It helps the little problems, but sometimes it's not very effective when you're so sort of worked up. You can physically feel it. I wouldn't say it's that, but you know, it's a little thing and it's helping a little bit. So I think probably the most important thing that's helped me out is the people I have around me. I've been lucky enough this time that it's happened this time, that I've been surrounded by people who have been through it, who understand it, who know what to say, and have known me before all of this happened, so they know how I am and when I'm different and what they need to do to kind of pick me up again. I love them so much. I am horrifically sentimental. I keep everything. Me and my flatmate have a thing, we leave each other notes, and I keep all of them. Actually, this was from last year, from one of my flatmates from last year who left me a note when I wasn't feeling great at the end of the year. Then I've got all of these little notes that my current flatmate has left me, and I save all of them. I save absolutely all of them. I never throw them away, because when I'm having a down mood or a down day, I can just go back, read them over, and they make my life. It'd be completely impossible for me to sum up everything that has gone on over the last couple of months and everywhere I've coped and all the people that have helped me, but I will leave a link to the very, very important ones, and there's essentially 3 of them, and they're all wonderful, incredible people, and you should all know who they are. I mean, you're no stranger to all of them. I literally do not shut up about them at all online, to be honest. That's about it for all the facts, as I like to call them. Nice to sit down and just chat. I know I'm a bit of a nightmare to deal with online, as I've explained to quite a few people who I've been talking to mutually, etc. for the last few weeks. But I'm getting better. As you can see today, I'm a lot chirpier, I'm a lot happier, but every day is not like that. And you can watch this and sort of think, oh, okay, so that's what they're like all the time, you know, that's the kind of person they are. But no, I mean, I struggled to get out of bed this morning, but I'm trying to make the most of it. I also have lots of work to do, so that's another motivation. So much work to do. Anyway, that is it. You know where I am. I will leave all my links below. If you need to talk about anything I've mentioned today, you want to come ask me any more questions. I love you. I'll speak to you soon. Bye. Seriously. See, this is what happens when you live 2 seconds from an infirmary. Can't believe I'm here for another year.